What's good, YouTube? This is Delteros, and don't worry, this video is not about Charizard. He's just here so you have something to look at because it's a decent design, and I'm gonna yap for a few minutes. I figured today I would talk about my thoughts on voice acting in Pokemon games. I am personally a big fan of the idea. I think Generation 10 needs to have voice acting because of reasons I will go over later in the video. Um, First of all, I would like to say thank you to my newest subs. I'm not sure who you are, but I appreciate the sub, and hopefully we can hit 50 by the end of February. I'm at 38 right now, so I see that as being very possible. It's 12 subs. Come on, guys. You guys can do that. Um, but yeah, let's get started. First of all, I think that Pokemon games in the 3D era are far too story heavy and far too dialogue heavy not to have voice acting. I understood why they didn't do it on the 3DS, and from a money standpoint, I understand voice actors are expensive, but Pokemon is one of the highest grossing franchises in the world. They can afford to make the actual effort, and it's not like they don't work with some of the best voice actors in the business. I mean, Sean Schimmel is all over Pokemon. I'm pretty sure Johnny Young Bosch has done some Pokemon. I don't know about Chris Sabat. I don't know about any of the other big names, but um, yeah, like Scarlet and Violet. If Arvin would have had a voice actor, it would have driven home the whole "I need to save my dog" storyline. Um, it would have driven home Nemona's battle-hungry nature. It would have driven home Clavel's need to right the wrongs of his predecessor. And honestly, I think it would have been kind of funny to hear him try to be all weird about being a student. But yeah, um, and ZA absolutely would have benefited. That cast of characters with the amount of diversity between them, they really needed voice acting. And even the NPCs, like when I say NPCs, obviously the other characters that aren't your main character are all NPCs. But when I say NPCs, I mean like random trainers. They would have benefited from voice acting whenever they sent out their final Pokemon. It would have made those lines of desperation hit home a lot harder. Um, but even in Champions, I mean, go back and play the Pokemon Stadium games, and I think the Coliseum games had announcers in the Battle Mountain or Mount Battle things. But yeah, the Stadium games were a lot better because they had the announcer calling plays and like reacting to big hits and stuff like that. So yeah, even champions could benefit from voice acting, and I hope they implement it. Um, yeah, and to anybody who says it'll take away from the immersion of the Pokemon games, these games are not your story. Each of these main characters has their own names, their own personalities, their own backstories, and even in some cases their own canonical teams. Like in all seriousness, we do not need a bunch of people thinking that they're saving the Pokemon world when we all know it was red, we all know it was gold, we all know it was Brandon, or I forget which of the characters in Gen 3 is the main character. I'm pretty sure it's Brandon because he's the one they show in all the footage. We all know it was Serena in Gen 6 because Callum is in some of the promotional material, but he's usually left off to the side. But yeah, and like the only thing that you could argue that is technically the players are the teams they use, but even a lot of those teams are the same in playthroughs. So yeah, I mean, and like I said, Scarlet and Violet really could have benefited from it because it had three separate storylines. And while I wasn't really a fan of the whole bullying storyline, it would have made the emotional thing they were going for hit home a lot better. Um, but yeah, this has just been a little short rant on why we need voice acting in Pokemon. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Tell me if you think I'm right. Thank you again for 38 subscribers. This has been Delteros. Don't be me. Be better.